lake or pond. This is the main lake. The other one's right back here.
Oh, look, they got a beach right there?
Yeah.
Wow. In this episode, we make our way up 5 miles, 3,000 feet to Laurel Lakes. This is not a trail that you want to take lightly. It is rated as a moderate four-wheel drive trail. On crossoverlanding.com, I rate this as hard with recommended ground clearance of 10 inches or more. Your vehicle should have full-time all-wheel drive system, skid plates, and all-terrain tires, and you should be an experienced driver. Please note that a 2018 and earlier Toyota RAV4 has a part-time all-wheel drive system and does not fall under this category. And because this 2020 Subaru Outback XT is stock, it doesn't either. Please heed the warning, because this trail is notorious for popping tires, even all-terrain tires. And remember, you're climbing up 3,000 feet in 5 miles. That averages about 600 feet per mile. You may very well overheat your transmission. I highly recommend you use a device like a Scan Gauge 2 that will monitor your transmission temperatures. The good news is that the trail starts at 7,300 feet, which is a lot cooler than lower elevations. Now that we have the disclaimers out of the way, let's get this adventure started. Quite a bit of cars over here. We'll be driving up there. Alright, we just had a driver's meeting. So the plan is to have 2 groups. As we drive up, as we drive up, if we see oncoming traffic, we're going to split the group into 2. So 4 cars will be up front, 3 cars in the back. That way we don't congest this trail. We have reports that there's 25 vehicles up there already. There's a lot. It's going to be pretty packed. We got to be responsible. We have to be thoughtful of other people. But right now, it looks like the trail is pretty open. We're going to give it the go. Here's the lineup. Taking point is Gabriel OC Adventure Trails and his 2nd generation Nissan Xterra 6-speed manual 4-wheel drive. Behind him is Sandra and her 3rd generation Subaru Forester with a 1.5-inch lift. By the way, she put this trip together. Behind her is Amanda and her Toyota 4Runner TRD Pro. Check out this wood sleeping platform she built. Sweet! Behind her is Nick and his Subaru Ascent with a lift and BFG KO2 tires. He also has an overload spring in the rear. And then I'm behind him, and if you're not familiar with my vehicle, I have a 2-inch lift and 2.5-inch taller tires. Next up is Leo and his Subaru Outback. He has a lift and all-terrain tires. In the rear we have Muhammad and his Jeep Grand Cherokee WK1. This was newly lifted with taller all-terrain tires. We're now lined up and ready to go, and if you haven't noticed, we staggered vehicles with 4 low or aggressive gearing in front of vehicles without. We're all aired down, have skid plates, and all-terrain tires. The trail starts off real easy as far as technicality, but you will travel 675 feet in elevation in less than a mile. Encountering cross traffic is a possibility. And because these trails get narrow, it's good to plan out where you could actually pull over to let other cars pass. Here at the half-mile mark, you'll find a nice big place to pull over in case your vehicle needs to rest. The plan is to visit Laurel Lakes just for the day. Tomorrow we have a 5-mile hike to Duck Lake. Now we're coming up on the 1-mile mark. There's a little bit of a gatekeeper obstacle right here, and the trail is rough for the next half mile. This is the roughest section. Okay, so I guess this car was pulling over. We got high centered on a boulder. So here we are. There's a Ford Expedition that is high centered on a rock, and we're waiting for the road to clear. While we were waiting, the dirt bikers heading down the trail told our friend Sandra and her Subaru Forester that she was crazy for taking her vehicle up here. And in a completely separate incident, this man in the red shirt driving a side-by-side told us that we are going to break our vehicles. Let's listen in to what he had to say. This is a good time to grab some popcorn.
This is not an easy trail.
It's up to you. I'm down.
Yeah, I've been to Coyote Flats. Is it Funnel Lake? Is it harder than Funnel Lake? Yeah, I would say so. There's a couple spots that are running out. Yeah, coming around this corner. I mean, if you're not worried about minor damage or scraping the bottom, you'll probably get there.
Yeah.
But
Okay, I had a friend that came up there.
So I knew he is full of it because I had a friend that told me how difficult this trail was. Coyote Flats and the trail up to Funnel Lake is just much more difficult. It's more important here to have trail experience rather than what you think might be a capable vehicle. Because if the going gets too rough, your experience will tell you it's time to pull over, turn around, and go home.
Yeah, take the line to the far right.
So this is the white Ford Explorer that got high-centered and blocked the road. To get past this obstacle, he needs to put his tires on top of the rocks. He needs wheel placement.
There's just like a little ATV. There's space across.
His line looks good. He's all straightened out. He just needs to drive forward. Maybe he was trying to get out of the way. But you see he adjusted his line at the last moment and hit his undercarriage, risking high centering again. Now it's time for Sandra to show us how it's done.
Nicely done. Yeah, Nick, I'll stay here and spot you.
okay. wait. Watch out, there's a rock right here, so it's nice and slow. Good. Just watch your back tire. Go slow. Actually, you're gonna hit it. Go, driver. You're on it. Back up just a little bit. A little more. Okay, cut driver. 1 second. Cut driver. All right, hold it right there. Hold. Okay, now go passenger. Forward about 6 inches. All right, keep going. Okay, good. All right, Gabe will get you for the rest of it.
All right, here's the start of the rough section. This goes on for half a mile. I'm going to try to get my driver tire on the rock to the left, and I am going to be mindful of potentially sliding into the rock to the right. I don't want that to happen. So I just let my Honda Passport use its traction control to get through that, and then I'm on my way. I want you guys and gals to be able to use this video to determine if you want to try to do this Laurel Lake trail. So for the next 5 minutes, I'll be including a lot of raw footage of the rough section.
The next section, guys, you stay to the right. The left side, you'll hit rocks. So stay to the right of the trail up here.
Please note that trail conditions are constantly changing. They may become easier or harder.
Okay, who's next?
This is where that Ford Expedition high-centered and got stuck. It's pretty apparent that the path of least resistance is to the far right. I consider this upcoming part the roughest section in Laurel Lake. If you were to take away the steepness of this trail, then this part wouldn't be nearly as bad. And there you go. That was the rough section. Now for a beautiful cliffside drive over to the lake. Now it's just over 3 miles to get over to Funnel Lake. Because the road really narrows down and there's one section that goes on for 3/4 of a mile without any place to pull over, I made sure to mark my Gaia maps with all the points that would allow for passing.
Check this out, there's an exhaust right here. Someone's exhaust. Hey, can you radio in Muhammad that he could pull over right here? So we're being mindful of other people that might be coming down. So they said there's 2 spots to pull over there, but we have 7 cars in our convoy. So we're pulling over right here. Muhammad can pull over right here. There's a vehicle coming up.
The other group radioed in and they said to start making our way up, so we proceed.
Laurel Lake Trail. This is gorgeous. Stopping to let the transmission temps go down a little bit. I'm up to 272. My transmission temps and I want to get down a little bit.
Right here you'll notice that there's a decent sustained climb.
Right there. They're having an island party right there. Right here,
it's leveled, and then you go down. It kind of seemed like from videos that it's a steep downhill, and then another steep downhill.
Oh,
but it really looks like it's just more flat, and then it's a sharp turn.
It's an amazing trail. Your car better be in tip-top shape because it's very steep. Technically, it's challenging, middle of the road.
So if Old Dale Road's rated a 4, what would you rate this one?
I would rate this a 5. Old Dale Road has a couple obstacles that might be just as hard or harder, but it's not. This is consistently harder, and it's longer, so it's mentally a little more challenging.
Okay.
So
mentally, like more mental anguish if you're not used to a trail like this.
I wonder if I can deal with that turning.
So this is the switchback. You should make a multi-point turn to traverse this safely. As you can see, it's a long way down and kind of scary.
Definitely not.
You just stop it right here. Got about 3 feet. Just a little more, a little more. Okay, so stop right there. You got 2 feet, hold on. A little more, 1 foot. All right, stop it right there. And you'll want to turn this way hard, okay? Go forward. Go a little more. Go a little more. Good. Yeah, keep going. All right, I'll just stop it right there and straighten out. You just need a little bit. All right, you're good. Right there. Back it up. You go about 3 more feet. Keep going. Keep going. A little more. Okay, a little more. Just stop it right there. Stop it right there. Go forward. Okay, you keep going. You think you can complete the turn. But just to be safe, keep going like a foot more. Stop it right there. Back up. Back up. Give me a second. I'm gonna get past you. But you got it. You got it. Oh. So here I thought Nick was good. I thought he'd be able to complete the turn, but the problem is he's having trouble backing up. Now before we get into the recovery, because Nick does get stuck, look at this. With the power of video software, I'm able to see what happened. It looks like I spotted Nick to turn too sharp. Turning too sharp might cross up your axles and get a wheel in the air, so I recommend driving straight out and then performing a multi-point turn. So now that Nick is stuck, and I take full responsibility for that, it's time to get him unstuck. The driver's side rear tire is up in the air, so I'm trying to jump up and down to get that tire planted. I grab a rock to place under his driver rear tire. Muhammad jumps in the rear bumper to plant the vehicle down, and I push from the front. Now the passenger front tire is in the air, so a rock goes under that tire, and more pushing ensues.
Stand by.
And there you have it. This is why you should never off-road alone. Go with some friends, because you'll never know when you'll need a helping hand.
You gotta keep going. A little bit more. Nice. Slowly. You don't want to exhaust. Keep going a little bit. Oh, yeah, good. You got it. You're all set.
So there you have it. We successfully made our way over to Laurel Lake. One thing you'll notice is this place is jam-packed. There wasn't even enough space for our 7 vehicles. We had to ask campers if we could double park. Another thing you'll notice is the trail down to the lake is steep. This means that you have to drive up and out of here. And that's a whole nother challenge for a whole other episode. Stay tuned for part 2 sometime next week. Until then, stay safe, and I hope you have fun on your adventures.